Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in to another episode of the 3Ps Media Podcast, where we discuss all things gaming, all things going on in our personal lives. What we've been up to, just kind of kick back, trade our thoughts, trade our ideas, trade it for some prizes maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we find along the way, dude. But it will be whimsical. And it will be a good time. Guaranteed.
My mic almost popped out of the little holder here. But, dude, I'm just trying to, get cozy around the campfire and just have a nice little conversation.
I mean, dude, it's fun to get cozy, bro. And it's fun to get cozy with Ryan and Hayden. Dude, you never know. You never know what thoughts or what ideas are going to pop out. But, dude, there's been something on my mind. All right, dude. So one of our good, faithful viewers asked us a question, dude, and this is a question that's both complex and it's gonna take many years to digest. I feel like we can go back and forth on this question for quite some time.
I know where this is going. I know.
Do you know where this is going?
I have a feeling.
Dude, do you want to read the comment that might inspire the rest of this discussion, dude?
I think you got it.
You think I got it, bro?
I think you got it.
You think I got it? Dude, I forget who asked it. Who asked it, actually? I forgot who asked it, and I forgot what it was.
Well, I may be wrong, dude. Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. Dude, are you talking about a question from one Chris Aries?
Dude, yes, sir.
Yeah?
Wait, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about, but I am talking about that. I was not talking about that initially, but now I am, because you put me on a good tangent, dude. What, dude? What, bro? What, bro?
That's not where you were going.
It's not, but it is now. It is now. So we're gonna switch. We're gonna change trajectories, and we're gonna talk about that question. All right. So there's in the Discord, guys. Join the Discord. We have a good time. We have some laughs. It was getting a little out of control recently, though, guys. We got to tone it down. But
we're going off the beaten path at this point,
dude. It's all right. Hey, we're gonna get the train back on the rails here. So what we're gonna talk about is Chris Aries, whatever he goes by, he asked us in the comments if we have ever smoked weed. And
correction. If it's legal, would you ever smoke weed?
See that, there we go. We got to get it verbatim.
Yeah. That's the quote.
So, and my answer to that would be, you got to join the Patreon at that point. We're not going to solicit that kind of information on this channel directly. But if you want to subscribe to the Patreon and get that exclusive content, hop in, join the party. We'll tell you everything you need to know. We'll answer any question you want on the Patreon.
The Patreon that isn't set up.
But it's a work in progress.
Hey, all of you, let us know if you'd like a Patreon where we, answer more questions like that, but also, we put out exclusive content, maybe some Let's Plays of a certain game, that, a lot of content that will not be uploaded to the channel.
And maybe some more risky content as well. Maybe we're having a little bit too much fun, some of these videos, Maybe we're having just a little bit too much fun.
If that interests you, let us know. Because it's a consideration for us. But,
dude, and why am I so bright, bro?
Yeah, dude, you're looking a little...
I look ghastly, bro.
Yeah.
I look like a ghost. I look like the ghost of Abraham Lincoln from when he was 19 years old.
You're shining a little bit.
Do you think they had glasses back then?
Glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, bifocals.
Benjamin Franklin.
Shout out.
Shout out my boy. He invented bifocals. Edison? Thomas Edison, the light bulb?
That's big time.
There's a light bulb going off in my head right now.
That's big time.
Dude, read my mind, Ryan. What am I thinking about? Wait, hold on. My face might give it away. What am I thinking about, bro?
Dude, I've seen that face before. I know exactly what you're thinking of.
You don't have to say it, bro. You don't have to say it. You don't even have to say it, but you know.
Dude, I know. Dude, I know. So let me try again here. Is the question that you're thinking of from
originally or the second question?
Originally, I think we answered the second question.
Oh, we did, yeah. Well, we didn't
You,
answer it. We didn't
well,
answer
you
it though.
said, well, yeah,
We
you're right.
we
But we
we
addressed it.
responded to the second question. We
We
didn't
addressed.
answer it though.
Um, well, you said it was from Chris Aries, but I think that's just a lie. I think this is this from Luigi Corb?
It should be, yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
So that's the
So this
question
is
that I was originally.
yeah. So this is the question we weren't able to get to on the last podcast, but Luigi Corb, don't you worry. 'Cause this question, we really wanted to get into it. So it says, what are your thoughts on games today? Do you think you still see that there is a lot of time and care to make a good game, or do you feel a lot of games now are using shortcuts and just releasing it due to the brand behind it? And I got beef with this.
Why do you have beef, dude? Let's hear it.
But
Let's hear it.
okay, dude. You want me to go
I
first?
want you to follow that question read up with a flaming hot take, bro. I want to hear the beef. Give me the beef,
So,
baby.
you know, there are still a lot of great games that are being made today. We can look at Elden Ring.
Yep.
We can look at the Zelda game.
Yep.
You still have just absolute classics that are played for years and years, like a GTA, like a Mario Kart.
Fortnite.
But I mean,
No,
right,
I was joking about that.
I
was a
mean,
joke.
you have to give some credit to the free games that continue to get just an
Dude,
absurd amount.
they
of
hold
players
the
for year
market
after
shares, bro. Honestly,
Right.
like Fortnite,
Like a-
they're
like
still
a-
in the game at this point.
Right, like a Fortnite and Apex, not exactly my cup of tea anymore. But you credit in Valorant, but like credit is due. You got to give them some credit. But my biggest issue with gaming today is the yearly release games. And so the answer to your question, basically about if companies are taking shortcuts and they're just releasing it due to their brand, there are 100% companies that are doing this. I look at the sports titles, and I look at the Call of Duty series, and those are some of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, totally.
Like not like the best games, but just the games that I've played for years and years. I've loved playing NBA. I love playing Madden. The past 2 years, I've enjoyed playing MLB. I've played FIFA. Right. I've played all these sports games, and then Call of Duty. Obviously, I've played for so long. Right, but I don't love playing these games anymore because this yearly release is just ridiculous because these games are not getting better. And it's just so infuriating, especially when you look at like the sports games, for instance, because Call of Duty is a little bit different when you have multiple companies that like trade back and forth on who's going to make the game this year. But the sports games, it's the same company making the game every single year. And unfortunately, they only get like 9 months to develop the game, which is nowhere near enough time to develop a game. And so most of the stuff just becomes copy and paste. And then for your like franchise mode, right, for Madden or NBA, it's like, oh, we like implemented this like one new feature that's like kind of inconsequential, but like also kind of cool. Like that's
right.
why would I pay $60 or now $70 for that? And then
And
if you're
it almost, bro, and if I may interject here, it almost
go.
feels like I'm buying the game to compete to stay relevant and play the same game as everybody else because the servers are up for it, instead of purchasing a game that feels refreshing and new and can offer me a radically different experience than the previous game. Because what do I want in my library at the end of the day? Do I want Madden 10 through 23? Or do I want maybe, you buy Madden every 4 years and have a variety of other very different, fighting games or shooting games or maybe a Call of Duty title in there? Because I want to diversify the types of games that I play and how it makes my brain think. And when year after year after year, it feels copy and pasted, they have this core game just lifted up from their previous game and they do nothing to restructure it, it feels lazy. It feels lazy to the consumer, and they're putting in the least amount of effort possible to release a new title. And to me, as like a video game player, I'm kind of disgusted a little bit by it.
It's insulting because basically what happens is you're super excited to play that new sports title for the first few months just because there's a whole new roster. Like you're like, oh, the rookies, or oh, in free agency this team signed this player, and it's like, oh, I really want to play with that team, right?
And the cover athlete. I mean, who can forget?
Right. And then you got like the menus may look a little different, so it feels fresh, new, exciting, little tweaks to the gameplay.
Maybe
but
a
after
soundtrack
months,
change.
right? After those few months, though, you're gonna get bored of those rosters. The gameplay is gonna feel just like it did last year, and you're like, I'm bored of this game already, and I paid $70 for it, and it's the same thing as last year.
Right, dude. And that's where it just gets so infuriating, bro. And like,
It's not a no.
and that's the thing with me, dude. That's why, like, I think about spaces that these new and exciting titles can come from, and often it's spaces that are like indie games or developers where they have a lot of freedom to take the game in multiple different directions instead of a giant conglomerate studio like EA or EA Sports or Sledgehammer or, you know, even Treyarch. I mean, you see, like, there's this convergence of video games over the course of time to even a model that's it's a little bit pay to win and a little bit, you know, you see these season passes being invented in the games, and instead of buying the game for $60 outright and then owning the game for the rest of time and the servers being updated, the game is free and they earn off of cosmetics or off of skins or off of, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, but when it gets pay to win, dude, we see that in Overwatch 2 and it just frustrates me, bro. Like if I have to buy the battle pass to have access to a certain character and that character is critical to winning the game based on their abilities, bro, like I'm not going to pay money to be better at the game, you know?
Yeah, what Overwatch did to where you like need to get a ton of experience to like unlock certain characters and stuff, especially for like it didn't affect us as much coming from the previous Overwatch. They're like, oh, you're this level, we're gonna unlock every character for you. If you're completely, the barrier to entry in Overwatch 2 is so high if you're a completely new player to Overwatch, because you're gonna have to play a ton to start unlocking all these characters. And it's like, if I'm trying to play competitive, my team's like, oh, switch to this character, like, oh, don't have them unlocked, like, what are we doing?
What are we doing, dude?
So, but I want to get back to the what you were saying. It's the large companies and corporations are the issue, because I know there are a lot of passionate developers working on these titles, but it's like they're given 9 months, and it's like maybe some of these developers are working on multiple modes of the game too, so it's like it's even less time for a specific mode. So it's like, how are you supposed to implement a lot of new features to make this game truly feel new and not just like a copy and paste? And that comes down to the company's decision to make these games every single year. It's just a money grab. And the fact that you're paying $60 and now $70 a year for it's just egregious. And that's why I don't understand the Call of Duty thing at all, because the companies, there's multiple companies that make those games, right? They're switching off every other year. So you guys have like a year and 9 months,
right,
to make your game. How is the Call of Duty franchise gone down and continued to have like subpar game after subpar game when you have almost 2 years to make it? I mean, that's still, you know, you look at a game like Elden Ring or something in development for years and years. GTA, the top games are in development for longer than like 2 years, but still, you guys have less of an excuse compared to the sports titles, at least.
100%, dude. And with the transition from, I mean, Call of Duty was purchased by, Activision was purchased by Microsoft. And so we're going to see probably, hopefully, a more grand release coming up here.
Did that even go through, though? Because I know
Dude,
Sony kept trying to challenge that in court. I'm not sure if that's like official.
That's so infuriating, dude, because I was hoping that they would tend toward, like, listen to the consumer and tend toward a prolonged, scheduled release. Maybe every 3 years they make a Call of Duty game and then really invest in it and update it. I would enjoy that so much more than this, because a year's not enough time to make a game. I mean, that much is clear. And if you try to rush developers, it's not going to turn out unless you force them, like they did for Red Dead. Basically, what Rockstar Games did to these poor developers, bro, is they like locked them in a room for like weeks on end and like didn't let them go home until they finished the game. And what did they make? A beautiful, magnificent, compelling game that's just, oh, dude, worthy of every praise it's received. But dude, the answer shouldn't be to like lock these people at their desk to finish this game. You know what I mean? Just give them more time and have a project manager that schedules things like in advance. You know, you don't have to cram it all at the end, bro. That's all I gotta say, bro.
100%. I had something to say to that, and it escaped me.
Dude, yeah, I mean,
but
it gets me frustrated talking about games today, and I mean, especially coming off the back of COVID. I mean, it puts everybody in a tough spot because COVID, limited resources, it delayed a lot of games. We haven't really seen a major title that's blown me away, like blown me away in a while. But I mean, I'm very picky with my video games,
Yeah, dude, and I understand that. But what I was gonna say is, you don't even need to come out with the game. If you're just being a greedy company, you're trying to make a ton of money, you don't even still need to come out with the game every single year because we've seen battle passes. We've seen some of those popular games that make the most money. They're free to play just with battle pass, cosmetics, etc.
And I'm fine with battle pass as long as it's just cosmetics. And you can make a significant amount of money off of that model. So I don't know why more people aren't adopting it.
Right. And if you make a good game, people will not get bored of that game. I mean, we see Black Ops 3, for instance, still having so many people wanting to play that game. So much to the point where they kept contacting, Activision or to fix the port on Steam because there was hackers and stuff, and people just wanted to play the game. And so they eventually put in a fix there. But so many, we look back at all these great games, and it's like it shows that people are still willing to play this game that's like 6-7 years old. Even you can go back to earlier CODs too, or certain NCAA football. Everybody loves that game, right? And they loved it so much. Now we're coming out with a new NCAA football, and it just shows if you make a good product, people will play that for much longer than a year. And so, and then if you add in a battle pass or certain cosmetics into these games, you can still make a ton of money, and you'll just be making a better product, and you'll have so much of a more positive of an outlook from the consumers on your company and on your game.
And I think Nintendo is doing that in a really smart way with the booster pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because so many people are seeing these new courses that are out and wanting, if they don't have Mario Kart, they're buying it late, so they're still selling Mario Kart copies, still selling Switches as well, and it costs a significant amount of money to access these other tracks that look really well done and really, you don't have to release a whole nother game. You can invest in these longer term titles and have everybody playing them and build up this community around a really developed and really good game. And that's what I'm a fan
right,
of.
Mark? I'm trying to look at when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out on Switch. This is saying 2014.
No, that sounds right. Well, it came out on Wii U first, and then Deluxe came out for Switch. So Mario Kart 8 was on Wii U, and then it came out later for Switch. Yeah.
It's only telling Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Okay, 2017, I believe.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But you don't. Why hasn't Nintendo made Mario Kart 9?
I don't mind that though.
No, that's the point. They don't need to make Mario Kart 9.
They don't need to.
Everybody loves this game. This is still one of the most popular games in the world and one of the most popular games on their console. They don't need to make it. They just keep coming out with DLC of different courses, which think about the DLC courses that you're putting out there. If you were going to make Mario Kart 9, you would just throw those courses into Mario Kart 9, right? But no, let's just make them DLC. People are going to pay for it. We don't need to spend millions and millions of dollars in days and months and years to create Mario Kart 9. The infrastructure is already here. This game runs well. People love it. We'll just add courses to it.
Right.
And they're still making money.
Because, dude, because the Mario titles are radically different from one another. And it feels so much different than Madden or 2K or any other sports game because they build a completely different core system around racing. That's why Mario Kart Wii is completely different than Mario Kart Double Dash, and it's completely different than Mario Kart 8. It's because they take time to develop their games and develop these maps. And it feels radically different. Dude, I'd be so angry and infuriated if I got Mario Kart 9 a year, even 2 years, maybe even 3 years, and it was very similar to Mario Kart 8, and they just added a few items. I'd be upset.
Right. It's like think about the development from like Mario Kart Double Dash to Wii throw in DS, 3DS, Wii U, and then Switch. So different. So different. Then think about like a Madden 19 to Madden 20 to Madden 21 to 22 to 23. They're pretty similar from like 18 to 23. They're pretty similar. That's like a 5-6 year gap.
Right. Dude, and to me, they honestly feel like very similar until you almost go next gen. Like that's to me where you see the big difference is like for 2K, for example, when I went from Xbox 360 to Xbox One, huge jump. But all the years from the start of playing Xbox 360 2K to the end of it, it's like it's kind of the same game.
And the only difference is like, yeah, some of those games people rank higher than others. Like some of them, I don't know. I think 2K12 and 2K12 I forget, but 2K11 is a very highly ranked game. And there's a few in there. So like obviously people are gonna have opinions on like, oh, this game is one of the best of all time, and then this game's terrible. But the reason why, and you're like, so if these games are so similar, why are you getting such a difference between the quality of these games? And that would be a fair argument, but at the same time, I disagree with it because you're porting over the whole entire game and you're rushing that process for like 9 months. There ends up being a ton of bugs and a ton of glitches, and these games don't come out polished at all. And that's what's so hilarious to me is if you follow the release of the Madden in the NBA in the COD, the first month or two is just straight bug fixes and straight like, oh, we need to nerf this gun, or oh, this is a broken like crouch mechanic, or or it's, oh my gosh, these tackle animations are just terrible, or this dribble move is just ridiculously too good. And it's like if you had time to play test this stuff and do anything, this like game comes out polished. I mean, we have a game like Elden Ring, which is way bigger than these games, a way more larger project, coming out with way less bugs. And obviously there's still bugs because a game that size, it's impossible not to have them. But how's a game like that looking so much more polished at release compared to your games, especially when you're porting almost everything over?
Right, dude. Right, bro.
I guess to answer this question, so there are definitely games that I think just are going for the cash grab, right? But we have seen a lot of great companies and great games that aren't doing that, and especially like you said, from indie developers. Like I'm looking at a game like Phasmophobia that we've really enjoyed, and they're continuing to update their game, even though you can't even. It's not even they can't make money from it now, right? Like it's just
right. Once you have the game, I mean, they're catering to their fan base that already bought this very cheap $10 game,
right.
Because
I think the developers, they see the vision. They're like, we want to be one of the largest horror games out there. And especially what's cool about this game is a lot of the best horror games ever are single player, right? So and they're like, we can create this experience where you can play this with your friends. Of maybe way down the line, if this game gets huge, they create some battle pass or something, right? But they're like, we're super passionate about this game. We want to keep growing this base. We're not doing this for money. We're coming out with new updates and coming out with new equipment to the game and constantly putting in an Easter update, all these things, just because we love the game. And that's what you love to see from your developers.
And I think what originally attracted us to a game like Phasmophobia was, it just feels so different than anything I'm accustomed to. And even learning the game was fun because it felt like I didn't know how to, like picking up a game and not knowing how to play it, but then you get good at it and it's like, oh my gosh, this is like a really fun game. Like that's such a fun feeling because it's not like any other game that I've played. Yeah. I'm using a different part of my brain to play it.
I totally agree with that. And I think indie developers are more willing to take those jumps on a new type of game, whereas these big companies, I think, kind of want to play it more safe and be like, oh, this has been a popular game type in the past, let's try to create our version of that. And while that's a strategy that can work, it's just you're not going to get the most innovative things from those companies, right? Like the indie developers are the people really going off on that ledge or taking that leap of, can we create something super fresh, new, and exciting? And the last thing that I will say about what's so unfortunate about how we have companies making these yearly releases that aren't great is this is more for the sports titles, that they have like a contract basically with the NBA or NFL, for instance. I know the NFL for sure has this, whereas their EA is the only person that can create a simulation-based football game with the actual
that's
player.
A crazy patent, bro. That's like
And so, like, I'm pretty sure 2K, who makes NBA, they're actually coming out with a football game, but it's arcadey. It's like the old retro games, basically, because they cannot make a realistic version of football. They're not allowed to. Right? You're not allowed to make it with the players.
And I don't know what the answer is to that, because obviously, deals were done to make sure that, like, contracts are being paid. But, dude, like, I don't know how you corner. It's like they're cornering this very popular thing, and instead of making a game around it that's good, they're just phoning it in, dude. Once they already have the gold in their hand, it's like, bro, like, share it with the people,
Because part of the reason everybody continues to purchase these games is not just because of the excitement of the new rosters or trades and stuff. It's because there's not another alternative. If you love the NBA or the NFL and you want to play football or basketball, like there's no alternative. And so like they have like a monopoly on that category. So it's like if you love basketball or football, it's like, shoot, I guess I have to play this game.
And I think that's
right?
what really, like, it's all these factors that have pushed me
Irks
away from
you.
these yearly titles. Because
Yes,
it's
dude.
hard to want to play them and feel like, oh, I'm just going to lose all my progress that I've earned on this game and just start a new file save over again on the next game.
Especially if you're into the card game modes like FIFA Ultimate Team, Madden Ultimate Team, or My Team in NBA. If you're into those game modes where you have to like grind hours and hours to unlock like this new 95 overall card, or like you spend $50, $100 to open packs, I could not imagine paying money to open packs, like a lot of money, to then just buy the new game and I don't have any of those cards anymore.
Right.
Oh, that would just be the worst. And I used to grind. I used to play NBA My Team a lot. I didn't pay money, but I just like spent a ton of time grinding these cards. And what turned me one of the reasons that turned me away from the game is I grinded like hours on this one card, like hours and hours. It was super tough challenges. Finally get the card. A few weeks later, new cards release, and it's just like, and I think the card I got was a center, and like 3 new centers came out that were just objectively better than mine. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I just
and
spent all
just
this
like
time-
that, like the game, how the game's structured is you just become irrelevant immediately, and it's
Right,
outside
I'm
of your
like,
control.
so-
Anything you grind for, there's gonna be something better in the future that keeps other players invested. So, and that's why I like the Fortnite model, dude. Honestly, even though Fortnite isn't like one of my favorite games, I think what they do really well is having season pass and having cosmetics, and those cosmetics, you know, you're building up the more you play the game, you're building up your library of cosmetics. And showing off a certain skin is like showing off a certain time period, a certain era in Fortnite when you were very good at the game and got to level 100 and got the John Wick skin or whatever it is. And then when you see a John Wick in the lobby, you're like, oh, like they've been playing the game for a while, you know?
Right. And it's just super cool to, like, if you're putting hours and hours into Fortnite from like all the way from like a season 1 to now, it's super cool to just have all of that in your library to be like, I don't know, it just that's a good feeling versus like think about if every Fortnite season all the skins you could only use the skins from a specific season. Think about that. Wouldn't that just be miserable?
Yeah.
Like all the skins you just got from the previous battle pass, you can
It'd be
no longer use.
demoralizing. It'd be
It would
absolutely
be-
horrible.
Right, and so that's why it's just some of these games, just the yearly releases, they just blow my mind. And it's so sad because I mean, I want to play those sports titles because I love sports. I want to get
But
back
why
into
not
Call of
just
Duty.
make one that's free to play and then have a battle pass with a season mode and maybe some perks for having the battle pass? You know, but keep the core game. Especially if you already have rights. Just make Madden. That's always Madden. Not Madden 19, not Madden 20, not Madden 21. Just Madden that you don't have to pay for. And then there's a battle pass.
Update the rosters, right? Update the rosters yourself during the new year. Because again, these games should not be just out for a year. There should just be an automatic update that comes out like after free agency and the draft to where, oh, here are the official 53-man rosters for the next year. I shouldn't have to pay for the next game to get those 53.
Dude, you're getting me heated, bro.
Oh, it really frustrates me, man. It really does. But you know,
Power to the people, bro. That's all I got to
gotta
say.
move on. You know, it's just, dude, I could go on for.
Dude, I mean, 30 minutes into the podcast, still on the first question, dude. I called it, bro. Like, this is a passionate question, bro. We could talk about this all day.
It is, and you know, maybe we focused a little bit too much on the, you know, the negatives and didn't show enough love to some of those awesome games. But I think we still did a lot. But you know, maybe in a future podcast we can talk about some super underrated games or something like that. Who knows? But, yeah, that's just something I had to get off my chest, dude. When I read that question from Luigi, I'm like, dude, I know you're about to get me going, Luigi Corp.
Luigi, dude, and Luigi Corp always gets me going. But like with a question like that, you're gonna get a little something extra out of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get me you're gonna get me chomping at the bit.
And so, dude, shout out to you, Luigi Corp. There's no
Shout out Luigi Corp, bro.
But we have a few new questions, from the previous podcast that we weren't able to get to. I mean, we just jumping right into those. I think it's just gonna be a question heavy episode after that main topic.
Questions galore, bro. I love it.
So from Cray Dilly Tribute,
Shout out.
Oh, dude. So this is one. I don't know how much we touched on this. Maybe you remember. What are your hobbies? How did the two of you meet? Um,
Ooh.
but that's and that
So is
kind of
that
goes
is
along
that
with
two questions?
thing that yeah, it's two questions. Fortunate kind of asked a similar question. What kind of things did y'all do growing up? So I guess maybe hobbies more now than
Was
growing
it
up.
MEAT or ET?
It is METE.
Mete.
No, it's MEET.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness, dude.
Um, yeah. So, dude, where do we want to start with that? How did we meet? Dude, you can chime in. I'll just quickly say I
Well,
don't know.
dude,
I
we
think
already
it
covered this, didn't we?
didn't we like just did we? I thought we
Well,
did.
oh, dude,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how. Do you remember how we met? Because I don't. But I
I
do
don't like.
remember playing video games in your basement, as covered in the
Yeah,
last
we talked about
episode.
that. The first thing that comes to my mind, I think, is gonna be first grade, like on the playground. I
Okay,
think we both had a mutual friend,
let's
and
go.
I think like at some point, uh,
Our paths
they
crossed.
yeah, like our paths just like crossed via that mutual
You know what,
friend.
dude? Because I played some strange games in elementary school, and I feel like our playground was
Uh,
so ginormous that it was
yeah.
like this, like, and we were so like we were tiny, tiny kids, so we would just
Uh,
get like lost in it. Like I remember one game that I would play early in my elementary school career is I would just like hide underneath the playground
slide? Yeah,
and
dude.
just
That's
yeah.
I have that vision in my. I think I like the exact moment I'm talking about. You're under a
Of
slide.
course I am, dude. And what I would do is I would try to wedge myself. So there's like a part of the slide, it like comes down, and then
Okay.
like there's a part of the slide where it almost meets the ground, but it doesn't
Yeah.
quite. But it's like inhumanly low to the ground.
Yeah.
So I'd like shimmy myself underneath the slide, and I just like wedge myself under there and like scare people.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because, like, literally the moment I'm thinking of in my head is like I remember walking.
Dude, that's
I don't know.
canon now, bro.
I don't
That's
know if the
canon.
person, yeah, the person like was walking
Holy
me like
cow.
I was like with them, and then like we go under the slide and I see you there. So it's just funny.
That's so funny, dude.
But yeah, I'd say like it's like then that's like when we start to knew each other. I think we like became really really good friends probably fourth grade just because like we were never in the same class together. So like
Mm.
we'd probably be doing stuff at recess
Mrs.
sometimes.
Crafts, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Those are
like
the glory days.
yeah, so that's probably when it like
When it took off, dude. When it
yeah.
that you saw the exponential growth.
Right. Yeah. You didn't see it till then just because we just weren't able to see each other that much. It's pretty large. Like there's like probably like five different classes in our grade. So
Right, dude. But I feel like you and I were always like not to like flaunt or anything like that or boast or brag or show off or any of those things.
uh,
But well, dude, you and I were in the challenge group quite a bit. Like we would get sent out to the
oh,
commons.
that was where
And
yeah.
the commons was like this like neutral hallway area where like all of the kids would congregate who were too smart for regular math because I feel like they sent us out there because we would cause too much trouble within the classroom because we were like learning about fractions
And it
and,
just
and we
like
were just like I know this already, you know what I mean, like, and so we'd start messing around to entertain ourselves, so they didn't
yeah.
know what to do with us, so they
Well,
sent us
it's
out to the
okay.
commons and like gave us algebra packets and we like
Yep.
never did them and just like messed around.
Dude, those were some of the best moments in that. I can't believe we're just like unsupervised in that hallway, just like doing
we were like we
algebra.
were we were probably like 50 yards away from the class, like 25, probably like 25, 30 yards away from the class.
So wild. But yeah, those are some of the best times. It's just like all of us kicking it out there, just messing around.
And we're
Just
all
like
like we're all like smart in our own way, you know. We all made
yeah,
it to the challenge group by
it's
the
such
grace
an
of God.
it's such an interesting group out there. But yeah, dude, those were some great times.
Oh
Um,
man.
but yeah, dude, so that's kind of that story.
That was a
Um,
good story, dude. That was a good story.
that is. Um, dude, so yeah, what kind of things did we do growing up? Slash hobbies. I mean, a lot of sports when I was like super young. I played basketball and soccer too. Then as I got a little bit older, then I kind of stopped both of those.
Mm.
Mostly played baseball, played that all the way through high school.
Did you play with Legos a lot?
Oh,
I feel like
Legos
Legos were
were
like my vocab. Like it's like the first word that I learned, bro.
Legos. You gotta throw in Legos. When I was honestly, although I did love Legos, honestly, dude, I had some
Dude,
mini
Legos,
action figures.
dude. Don't get me
Dude.
started on those mini action figures, bro.
Dude,
I
and
love
the
me some
mini action figures, bro.
figures.
That might have been my go-to, dude. I had castles. I had 2 or 3 castles.
You had
and so-
castles of mini action figures?
right, and so like
Like
I would
made
have,
out of mini action figures or castles with mini action figures on top?
So the castles came with mini action figures, but sometimes I'd maybe throw on my own mini action figures and add them to the castles. But
You gotta add 'em.
Dude, I would set these 3 castles up next
Expansion
to each other.
pack.
It would be nuts, but sometimes it'd be like castle versus castle, right? And you just like they'd be going to war.
Oh
It'd
my
be some-
goodness.
But so, dude, the mini action figures, man, they get me going. It is a great time.
Dude, I
big
love,
into the-
dude. You're gonna get me going here, but like, I love playing with toys, dude, and like,
Dude,
like,
how can you not?
like building like a civilization out of toys,
Dude,
and
oh
then
my-
coming up with like backstories to like all the people and like their motives and stuff.
Yes,
Dude,
dude,
I love that, bro. They would have
it would-
full on like religions and philosophies when I was done playing, bro.
Did you play with Lincoln Logs?
Dude, don't
Bro.
even get me, bro. Lincoln Logs went crazy, bro.
Dude, I built villages, all right, and dude, I was
Lincoln Logs were so cool, bro.
it was the best. And dude, yeah.
Dude,
my
I love Lincoln Logs, bro. And like how they would fit together, bro. And like you just keep adding them and it just gets heavier and it sits more firmly. And I'm just like, dude, I could build a skyscraper out of Lincoln Logs if I wanted to. And just having that power in my hands is incredible.
So it's so satisfying. There's no way around it.
Dude.
But yeah, dude, big into video games too. Ever since I still remember my parents got me and my brother a GameCube when we were really young. Because I think our cousins had a GameCube and we like went there for Christmas. Like me and my brother loved the GameCube. They're like, we gotta get one for him. And that, dude, that's when it all took off. You know what I mean? That's when the love for video games started.
You
So
love it,
that's-
dude. You love it.
Love it.
That warms the heart, bro.
Does, man. Dude, GameCube's a classic. Like,
GameCube is a classic, dude. So much with so little again, bro. And dude, as soon as I got a GameCube, I was just like, I made it, bro. This is way better than anything I've ever played ever in my life, ever, bro. Like as soon as I saw Mario Kart Double Dash, I'm like, yep, I'm good. Like I'll just play this forever.
dude, honestly, I think those games way ahead of their time.
Way
It's
out of their
impressive.
times, bro. We had to bring it back to the channel, dude, and pay tribute, pay homage, if you will, to the great games that came before.
100%. But yeah, we'll keep it moving here. To add on to that, from Fortunate, what kind of cartoons did you watch growing up, dude? Okay, I have to ask real quick before we even say it. Disney, Nickelodeon, or Cartoon Network? Where were you
Ooh.
at? I
Dude,
dabbled in
that's
all.
so tough. Because
I
I
dabbled in all.
I dipped in all of them, honestly. Honestly, yeah, I dipped in all of them, bro. That's so
It's a-
crazy you asked that, bro, because I like shows from each one, dude.
Yeah, it's a
I
really
feel
tough
like
question.
Cartoon Network. All right, dude, I'm gonna paint you a Venn diagram. All right.
Okay.
Cartoon Network is the most like moronic.
Okay.
All right, but it hits a funny bone with adults that like really like adults like gravitate toward it because it has shows like Ed, Ed and Eddie, which is like on its surface, like about like 3 bozos who are just being bozos like constantly. You know what I mean? And like that's a real show. Nickelodeon, I feel like has really creative like originals. Like Fairly Odd Parents is like a very creative concept. Jimmy Neutron, I love Jimmy Neutron, dude. And like SpongeBob, the best cartoon of all time. But like that's it. Like beyond their 4 shows maybe, like Danny Phantom too. Like not a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a whole lot of depth. They're running reruns for like years and years. But like their shows are bangers. Disney is like Disney, it's where adults go to die. Dude, Disney, because dude, try to get through an episode of a Disney show, whether it be Good Luck Charlie, Jessie, any of those shows, dude, where they don't roast, one of the kids doesn't roast an adult to their face and like call them a moron. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that is like kids' world. Like, we're living in the suite, we're living on the cruise, sweet life on deck. You know, like Jesse, we're in the penthouse, we're living. You know, we're living our best life and we're richer than everybody. You know, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Disney Channel is.
I completely agree with that. I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's a great point.
I mean, yeah, dude. I call it like I see it.
But yeah, dude, I dabbled in all three as well.
Jimmy
there's a lot
Neutron's probably my favorite show though of all time, dude. Honestly, it's I have such a soft spot for Jimmy Neutron, dude. And I think it's like I would watch it today and like get a kick out of it because I think Sheen is so funny. I think Carl is so funny, dude. I think he's so funny, bro. And I think like there's supporting characters, bro. Dude, I'm gonna pull up Bolby right now, bro, and just blow everybody's mind because this needs to be shown on the pod, dude.
too good, man.
Do you know who Bolby is, bro?
It's not the professor.
Oh my gosh, bro. Hold on, dude.
I think Jimmy Neutron though super underrated. Like I don't think
I don't know why it was canceled, bro. I watched a video on this recently, bro, about them canceling Jimmy Neutron, and I'm still mad about it.
that's wild.
Bolby. Jimmy Neutron.
But yeah, I mean,
Oh, you spell it Bolbi. That's interesting, dude.
I mean, I'd probably have to say SpongeBob's like top tier go to, but I don't know. I may have almost enjoyed watching like dude, Scooby Doo was always amazing to watch.
Yeah, dude. Scooby Doo is really good. What is that? Cartoon Network?
So one of the eventually one of the
Warner. I think Warner Brothers like bought them out, or like it was Warner Brothers for a while, and then Cartoon Network like purchased it or something.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers is the old ones. I think that
Warner Brothers is honestly, dude, the GOAT, kind of. Like, I remember a lot of good stuff being on, like, WB Kids, bro.
Yes.
Went hard.
But they, like, my parents recorded the Scooby-Doos and, like, put them on, like, a VHS tape. And I would watch those on repeat, bro. But so that was, like, old Scooby-Doo. But then, yeah, there was one that came to Cartoon Network as well.
Right.
But, yeah, dude, that's so good.
So good, dude. So good. It honestly is so good, bro. Like, is there anything better than that?
I just don't know.
I don't even think there's anything that rivals it.
Are you trying to pull up this picture? What do you?
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to pull up the picture, but it's not going too good. I don't know how to transition seamlessly. Hold on, I'll just pause.
Wait, crop out the bottom.
All right, what's up, guys? We're back, and like, I just wanted to pull up this picture of Bolby to just sort of like commemorate a peak moment in our culture, in TV show history. This kid, I mean, there's not a whole lot more I want to say about him other than just looking at him in his eyeballs right there. Like, he's expressing himself. He's having fun. He's feeling loose, dude. I think this is the episode where they did a rendition of Shakespeare. They did a rendition of Macbeth, but it was like Star Wars style. And he was like auditioning for the school play. And so I think he's like giving a very like Shakespearean performance. But as you can see, it's Bolby, so you know it's not gonna go as
it's a little bit like Yoshi Circuit on our course ranking. I feel like I'm getting those similar vibes, but yeah,
not a whole lot more we can say, dude. Bolby Stroganovsky is his name.
That's a great name. That's a powerful name.
That's a powerful name, dude. It commands the room.
Yeah, dude. And you look at him, he's commanding the room, like. Right? I mean,
he's commanding the room, dude. I mean, all eyes are on him, dude. I mean, Belly's hanging out a little bit, but he's packing the sweater vest. And, dude, I think I have a sweater exactly like that, bro, with that same exact, like, Blue's Clues pattern.
I love that.
It's good stuff, man.
I love that. All right, dude, quickly, few more questions, and then I gotta bounce, dude. I keep, like, almost getting in front of Bolby here, dude. I gotta go.
Yeah, dude, stay out of Bolby's sight, bro, because he'll get you.
Last fortunate question. Do favorite character to use in Mario Kart? So, I mean, I don't know if this is Double Dash or Wii. I'll just go quickly. Do Dry Bones for the Wii, 100%. Dude's a beast. Love the color scheme for his vehicles. If we're going Double Dash, you know I'm going with the strategy. Give me Paratroopa. Give me the triple shells. And then give me...
Paratroopa?
Give me Toad, right? Because Toad's the GOAT. But
Toad is the GOAT, bro.
Golden Mushroom over Chain Chomp to me. So, like, that's basically, just give me the triple shells.
Strategic.
if I get Koopa and Toadette, like
You're
fine by
relying on
me.
skill at that point with the golden mushroom. You know that, right? Chain Chomp, bro.
Yeah,
That's a C tier item, bro. That's for like the amateur player. But the golden mushroom, bro, like take me to the top, but I'm gonna get me there still. You know what I mean?
we may be ranking those items in a video,
Might be
so
coming real soon.
if if you may have just dropped a little spoiler, but that's why you listen to the podcast. That's why you listen to the podcast to get the inside scoop. So
Get the inside scoop straight from us, straight from the source.
what's your characters?
Dude, my characters, if I'm going Wii, bro, if I'm going Mario Kart 8, bro, 100% of the time I'm going either Villager or, no, I'm going Villager. Villager or DK, bro, is what I rock. Wii, I'm going, dude, and this is where it gets tough, dude. Probably traditional Mario, dude. I feel like I'm a Mario guy. I like the way he, is just medium size, bro, and cover athlete. I mean, Mario Kart, she's in Mario. I don't usually like people who do stuff like that, but I mean, Mario Kart Wii is where I'm lacking a little bit, and Ryan does have the edge, so I need the cover athlete in my advantage. But Mario Kart Double Dash, however, I'm probably going with Tandem. I mean, dude, if I'm feeling very confident on a very confident day, dude, I go Diddy 100% of the time just because I like the way he sits in the cart. I'm picking for a completely different reason than Ryan. And
Bowser Jr. It's the Hayden special.
Yeah, Bowser Jr. Yeah, dude.
It's
I need that big shell, dude. I like Bowser Jr. as well, dude. I like the noises that he makes, bro, when upon using a mushroom or getting launched out of DK's cannon.
Just don't lose with him because that cry is brutal.
It is, dude. You don't want to hear that cry, bro. But that's just another motivating factor to help me get first. I mean, I don't want to hear that cry at the end of the race, so I'm gonna do better.
You just love those big items. Big banana, big Bowser shell. I mean, how can you not?
Small guys, big items, you know?
Oh, yeah. Dude, so last question here. Beef.
Beef. What up, Beef?
Beef coming in with the question. Do you think there will be a Mario game based off the movie? Me personally,
Beef.
I'm going to say my prediction.
Wait, what was the question? Can you repeat that?
Do you think there will be a Mario game based off the movie?
A Mario game based off the movie?
Yeah, will they create a game based off the movie? My answer is no, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if.
Dude, that's such an interesting question, bro.
I mean, again,
holy cow, dude, I'm in the nether sphere right now thinking about that.
Maybe I'm a little less informed to answer the question, but it seems to me this was more of like origin story, like, right, with Mario, and they've just never done that in a game before, so it doesn't seem like that's a path that they're gonna go down.
No, dude, I think you're 100% correct. I mean, in every film or movie adaptation of Mario, they kind of go the origin story route where they're just like regular guys or regular plumbers who get sucked into this world. But every game, Mario's like this seasoned athlete for some weird reason, even though he has like the strangest build I've ever seen in my life. And I like that aspect, but dude, like, if they were to backtrack and make a game based off of the movie, dude, I'm just a little bit concerned about how that would land. I mean, would they get Chris Pratt to voice Mario in the game and like give him voice lines? Because it would feel like a little bit too linear for me, and I feel like Mario games aren't built that way. I mean, it'd be very cool to see Nintendo do something like that, and if they were to do it well, I'd be like, whoa, like, that's really hard to do. Because in my head right now, as I'm picturing it, it's garbage. But that's where I sit.
I don't know how long you can make that game either.
Right, dude. Because it's like you do everything in the movie and maybe add a few side missions, but I don't know how it doesn't feel like a... I don't know, dude. I feel like they don't really... They stopped making games from movies since like the early 2000s. Like they tried it for a while with like every Harry Potter game being on GameCube and Wii. And then they were just like, all right, guys, chalk it. Like, these games suck. so I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, but they are, Illumination and Nintendo seem to be working very well together. And Mario's doing, like, really well right now. So who knows what's in store for the future.
Yep. Well, I think that's going to wrap up podcast. But, if you guys enjoyed it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road. We're climbing up. We would love 500 subs. Come on, get us there.
700,000 subs, guys. We're 0.0001% of the way there. Come on, guys, get us there.
You gotta help us out.
You gotta help us out, dude. Pour it on.
Stay tuned for the next podcast. The Discord link will be in the description if you guys want to join there. You can ask questions there. You can also ask questions in the comment section of this video or on another video, you can just put like for the podcast, ask the question. So, we'll answer any and all questions. So,
Three peas in a pod.
All questions will be addressed.
Cast.
Questions may be answered on the Patreon, but your question will at least be addressed on the podcast. So, but yeah, dude, 3 peas in a pod. Cast. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Any last words, Hayden?
Thanks for watching, guys. You guys know that, like, you guys keep me going. You guys are my best friends in the world. And I don't know where I'd be without you, but we'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and go outside and do something fun.